Flashley plays with Eliza. Thank you for tuning in, and without further ado, let's just get on with it. Right, where did we leave this session? My, we had a lot of choices to make in the last round. After I'd started complaining, by about chapter 3 or 4, I was already complaining about how linear everything was, and I wasn't really seeing the choose your own adventure part of this choose your own adventure style game. Well, they kind of gave us a couple of things to think about towards the end of chapter 5, and then pushed that even further in the last chapter for sure. If you haven't seen those chapters already, I suggest you go catch them on my stream, and come back here once you've caught up. Okay, you all gone? Right, so yeah, we had some really tough decisions to make. Are we going to turn around and say we don't want anybody to control what we say in the session? Did we rebel against Eliza or not? And who did we spend time with? What direction did we want to take Evelyn's life in general? Massive decisions. And so we had a little sneak peek at the start of chapter 7 with a line from the apparently 3 years deceased Damien. So I take it we're jumping into flashback mode. Let's find out.
No, this will work.
Are you sure?
I promise.
Please be safe, Damien.
Of course I'll be safe.
Would anyone like to have more wine?
I think I'm good for right now.
See, there it goes.
The flames shudder and wobble as they begin to spread to the logs, which crackle and hiss at the heat. After a while, the wildly leaping flames begin to steady themselves, and we settle in around the pit.
Fire. Agent of destruction and creation.
Something nice about a campfire deep in the woods, isn't there?
Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming out here with me. I know camping isn't really your thing. Well, I mean, not Evelyn's thing, but I don't know about you, Nora.
Maybe a couple times, when I was a kid.
I thought maybe since we're in pretty deep on all the things we're working on right now, we could all use it. Because I used to, when things got really bad, I'd come out into the woods and just be there. And it helped me, so I thought maybe it would help you too. I don't know if it'll inspire you or what, but if more people could experience something like this, something with the same meaning it holds for me.
It is nice. Honestly, I've been doing all right. Better than before, that's for sure. Finals are soon, but I'm not too worried.
Evelyn's got her dissertation to finish up.
Oh, how's that going, Evelyn?
Oh, Nora. Nah, I know. You're not supposed to ask how the dissertation is going.
Is that a rule?
Pour me that drink anytime.
I see.
Yes, let's have a drink. I'm still kind of freezing, even with this fire going.
Nora reaches for her backpack and pulls out a thermos. She hands out plastic cups and pours into them a warm, dark liquid.
Okay, this is delicious. I've never actually had mulled wine like this before.
No? In my family, we always had it around this time of year.
You take red wine and add, what? Cinnamon, orange?
Yeah, those, and cloves, and, anise, star anise, and honey. That's it. Quite simple.
It's really warming me up.
That's what it's for. So good. Evelyn, you doze off or something?
No, I'm awake. I was just looking at the fire.
Fire gazing.
Kind of staring at it, I guess.
What do you see?
Everyone. People. Us.
I don't know what that means.
I think if we were going to make something to help people, it would be something that help them see themselves. Something that reflected back on them somehow. Just a thought. It's probably nothing.
No, I like that though. Yeah, something to help you reflect. I think that's the right track. I'm really looking forward to working on these ideas with you two. And just as soon as all this nonsense with school is over.
Everyone regards the fire in silence for a while, sipping Nora's mulled wine.
There's so many bad things happening in the world right now. But I don't know, somehow, for some reason, I feel like the future is going to be okay. I don't know why, I have this feeling that we're the ones. We're the ones who are going to fix it. Not we, like, you or me, but I mean, like, our generation.
Perhaps.
I think we will, maybe we will, or I have my doubts. I'm gonna go with maybe.
Maybe we will.
The important thing is to try. I feel like that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to try.
Sometimes you get tired of trying. Well, at least I do.
I wonder what things will be like 10 or 20 years from now. Will we have achieved our goals? What would we say to each other? What would we say to our younger selves? The future we want, the future we're trying to create, did it even happen?
Oof. Oh, the retrospective foreshadowing. I've just noticed as well. One of those is Nora with her dark hair, look. Damien looks up at the sky.
Future selves, tell us if it happened, okay? Come back in time, just tell us that you made it happen, please.
Dude, there's a reason why you didn't get a visit from future self you.
Damien,
It's the wine.
it's more than just the wine.
I'm just interested in the future, that's all. My future, your future, humanity's future. Of course, right now, the only future I can picture is the headache I'm gonna have tomorrow morning, but...
No reason to worry about it now.
You know what, you're right. I'll have some more.
Of course.
Okay, so she started a habit of pushing alcohol on people early on, of course.
I think I'm passing out.
Well, it is pretty late.
Good night, Evelyn.
Lightweight.
All right, good night, Evelyn. Hey, I know you've been working hard, so have a good rest, okay? You deserve it.
Okay, we're going to start with the basic waveforms.
Hold that thought. My phone just went, and I'm gonna check it, even if you think it's rude. Okay, we've got emails. One Mind 3.0 submission status. Oh, so based on the decisions that we made last time, it's taken some of those proposals a little further for us. So thank you for submitting a talk proposal for the One Mind 3.0 conference. After a thorough review process conducted by your peers on the advisory board, I'm sorry to inform you that your submission, Eliza reappraised concerns and dangers inherent to computer-assisted therapy, was not selected as part of the program. Due to the high volume of submissions received, we cannot comment on why individual submissions were declined. However, common reasons include overly specific subject matter that may not be applicable to most attendees, a lack of practical real-world relevance and actionable takeaways, multiple submissions that cover the same subject, and poor evaluations from previous speaking engagements. Finally, if your talk falls into a specific subcategory of the mental health care, social software and services market, such as programs targeted towards substance abuse or PTSD, you may want to submit it to the One Mind Summit, which take place on Monday and Tuesday of the conference. These focused sub-events may be more suitable for your talk. Best regards, Mildred. The Rational Mind 20. Turning traitor. You think you're so smart, but you're not. Women like you have nothing better to do than criticize because you can't create on your own. Enjoy your life being a shrill harpy nobody wants to listen to. Oof. Now, my money is that's Elrond. The Rational Mind 20. Yeah. Erland, that's it. That's... I doubt it'd be Raina. Not coming at you that hard. You're too insignificant for...
An
Raina to
analog
really wanna go.
oscillator can generate several different basic waveforms, and each has a different sound to it.
Nora plugs one of the cables into an open spot in the front panel of the modular.
That's a sine wave.
Nora reaches for a large dial and clicks it over to the next setting. That's a triangle wave.
That's a square wave.
Square wave. Oh, nearly. Right, come on then. Clicks the dial again. Okay, now that's got to be a saw wave, a triangle wave.
That's a sawtooth wave.
Yeah. Clicks the dial one more time. That's going to be like the curved and square.
And that is a triangle wave.
Oh, okay, sawtooth's not a triangle.
Kind of similar to sine, isn't it? That's it. Those are the basic types.
Woo!
And,
Lessons.
you make everything out of those?
Well, it gets more complicated quickly, but let's start with that. Okay, now that you have an output wave, you want to change the pitch. That's easy, right? It's the frequency of the wave.
Nora tweaks a different dial, making the frequency of the wave move up and down.
And then you have the amplitude of the wave.
Nora demonstrates another dial. There are really a lot of dials on this thing.
To shape the sound to make it more like a note and less like a constant tone, we can put an envelope on it. Let me hook that up really quick. So this module here is a standard ADSR envelope.
ADSR? You're going too fast.
What is it? Attack, delay, suspend, release.
Attack, decay, sustain, release. Very simple. The simplest kind of envelope, really.
I need to, write all this down or something.
No. You'll learn it in no time.
Nora, you just went through 10 different concepts and I didn't get any of them.
Here, let me just put an envelope on this. And the filter, and a filter envelope.
Nora.
Listen to this.
Nora presses a button on a different part of the panel.
See? It sounds like a musical instrument now. And all it is an oscillator shaped by envelopes and filters and driven by a loop sequencer.
Okay, but I don't know how you turn those beeps into that.
You just need to start playing with it.
But I don't know anything yet.
Yes, you do. You know the basics. Just start playing around. Come on, Evelyn. Try to experiment, okay? Pretend you're like a child and just do things. Don't worry about expertise or sounding good or whatever. It's supposed to be fun. So have fun!
We spent the rest of the night playing around and making weird noises with Nora's electronic music equipment. I didn't realize it then, but that was the beginning of a new direction in my life. The crowd at Jouissance is really responsive tonight. Something's in the air and everyone's feeling it. It might be the sense that spring is finally approaching after a long winter. Nora's been playing a bunch of her music tonight, but midway through she transitions into a different kind of track. Something a little more subdued, but hopefully still fun. This is a little track I made, but only the two of us know. I'm still working up the confidence to put my name to what I do, and I'm not sure I'll ever be the kind of person who gets up on stage. But this is still an important step for me. It's the first time a piece of music I made is being shared with the public. Nora never stopped to encourage me to mess around with all of the equipment she owns, and I ended up enjoying it quite a bit. I still don't know what I'm going to do to support myself in the long term, but I get by for now with the contract work here and there. I also published an article describing how I became more skeptical of the computer-assisted therapy approach. After that, Soren and Raina stopped trying to get me to join their companies. I don't need them. I want to reach the people who understand where I'm coming from, who want to hear what I have to say. Nora looks over to me and catches my eye. She's grinning. Uh-oh. That's the grin that means she's up to something.
Isn't this a beautiful track, everyone?
Oh boy.
It's the very first track ever by this girl right here.
Nora points toward me and the crowd breaks into cheers.
Everyone, let her know we want to hear more of her music, okay? Woo! You hear that? Yeah, what do you say, Evelyn?
The blood rushes to my face. People are smiling and applauding. They like what I made. They want me to make more. Nora continues her set and the music just washes over me. You little mischievous creature. I don't know how it happened, but I'm tearing up right now. I have to use a sleeve to wipe my face. People are indistinct. Everything starts to blur together. I feel so warm.
I don't understand any of this, but I'm in love with it. Tonight, I'm in love with everyone, everything, even myself. I've never felt like this before, and I have no idea what I did to deserve it. But for the moment, I'm filled only with gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for everything that led me to this place right here, this moment. Thank you.
Oh, wow. So I should have just played straight through this chapter. Wow, yeah, I didn't really expect that. That's a payoff for the decisions that we made. Yeah. That's okay. I didn't quite see the end coming up that quickly, but that's a nice touch, especially the messages from Eliza from Evelyn right there at the end. Oops. It kind of feels. I mean, you pick her up in a bad spot, and it almost feels like I won. And we've got a different background now. Cool. It's a bright new day. Yeah, so we took Evelyn from the depths of what was clearly a very nasty depression, just after she decided to do something without any clear direction of why, in terms of getting back into her old company to work on her old project from the perspective of an operator, essentially, a proxy. And over the course of that, started to question not only the suitability of the Eliza program, the way it was being used, the way it was being managed, and the different directions that some of her old colleagues had kind of gone in. We piece by piece discover what had happened to Damien, the guy that was kind of the glue that stuck us all together, it seems. And yeah, his death was at first just presented as a thing that had happened, and you just get little bits of detail about the reasons why and how that came to be. We focus quite a bit on Nora in this instance. I like the fact that we didn't really labour the fact that it was necessarily anything more than a friendship between Evelyn and Nora. It directly hinted at the fact that, you know, we'd become romantically entwined, but the game itself didn't lower itself to kind of, oh, well, now we're going to have like a lesbian kissing scene or any kind of specifics like that. They just kind of let the real life bits happen in between and let you kind of process it how you want to, whilst still not kind of completely avoiding the idea that, you know, this woman Evelyn has choices and has relationships that she can have, or she can dedicate herself to a career. There's a lot of replay still in terms of having a look at the other options on here, but I'm a little bit surprised at how, like, the percentage of the story, if you look back, that I was essentially just click, 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 and it was all just a standard linear playthrough. If you have a look here, let's have a look at the chapter. I mean, Light Rail kind of sums it up. Chapter 2, keynote, first section, second section, third, dinner, and then the nightclub. Yeah. Scander HQ, where we go and meet Rainer. The server room, where we met... I've forgotten his name again. But you meet the project lead. The counselling centre, the first session sections. And then we go to Ray's house. That was another thing. Then you start off chapter 4, that was right, in that weird induced dream from the device that is supposed to be the future of the end of suffering, which I was skeptical of from the first moment anyway. Couple of sessions, counselling session, meeting in the cafe with the project lead, and then Nora's flat afterwards. And then that's right, this one here, chapter 5, is the first one that we really got some meaningful questions asked of us. Granted, there was the whole cookies option before. I'm not convinced that the particular cookie that you had did much other than change the response. So you come through all of this story, all of this setup, where you're being told the things about the characters and the spoon-fed little bits of details about the past, which is a fascinating story in itself. But the actual agency that you have is limited right up until these two kind of spots, it seems. The Rainer's office session and the Evelyn session. And that, in knowing how far through that is now, that's too late. Then chapter 6, it goes absolutely balls to the wall. You go back in the session and you get to start picking. Alright, it's still only one of two options. You get to choose, do I go with what Eliza says or do I go with my own way? And there might, for all I know, be a really complicated branching path of options that you get to choose with those. Do your responses end up being more effective if you pick the right ones at the right time? If you say some things that Eliza wants you to say, but then go your own way? But it kind of felt like... particularly with some of the options in there, regardless of which option you picked, they were kind of similar, and they kind of led the dialogue back around to the same point and ready for the next kind of divergent choice that you got to make. So, again, didn't really feel like you were making a significant difference until you get to that last kind of in the the intervention section, the kind of last part of those sessions. That's where you made your final choice. Am I going to go with Eliza or am I going to go against her? So first, second, third session, and then after all of that, you get kicked out. if you've gone down that room. And then you get given this fairly blatant ultimatum. You know, you come out of the session, then you get to choose what you're going to do with your evening. Do you want to spend some time on your own? Do you want to go see your boss? Do you want to go see Ray? Do you want to go see Nora, etc.? And it's fairly obvious that's a chance to kind of expand on those particular relationships or business opportunities or whatever it might be that you're pursuing with those people. And then finally, it gives you this big old set of options. And off you go. Choose what you want to do. Choose what you want in life. It's it reduces that choice down to something that's a little bit more flat, a little bit more sterile. If I felt like everything that I was doing was leading into those sort of options, then I think I'd be more satisfied with the overall experience. But to kind of have this cheap payoff of Chapter 5, Chapter 6, and then get to the end of that, and then, oh, and this is the ending you chose, here you go. And then serve it up as Chapter 7 on a nice little platter. There's some really nice sentiments. There's some really quality storytelling in there. Decent voice acting as well. I think you'll agree. It makes you question, and that's probably the primary purpose behind this, is to kind of make you think about the intervention of technology and all of the topics that it keeps on kind of pretty much beating you around the head with all the way through the story, as well as some of the personal stories where you've got the different characters that come through. The Gangster Granny who's in debt and begging her family for support, and her family don't want to give her any. The dad to be that is tortured over whether or not he's ready and feels like he's in a situation that he shouldn't be in, and God knows what was actually going on there, because he never actually specifically talks about the facts, the details. The arsehole student that was cheating on his girlfriend, and just how angry you can get at him. And then Maya, the tortured artist that is holding herself up to these ideals of what she thinks she should be and everyone around her. And of course, like some of the time that we had with what colloquially got known on the stream chat as D&D dude, the angry IT worker who was only there because HR made him, and then looks like shortly afterwards he got booted out the company anyway. Yeah, I mean they're all characters that I'm going to remember. They're kind of stories, and they evoke opinions in you, which all of those things this story in the first 4-5 chapters did a really good job of. And in Chapter 6, fair enough, it capitalized on 3 of those characters as well, and really gave you a chance to kind of either speak up or just carry on being the proxy. And yeah, I'll have to come back to this at some point and do another playthrough and see what we have for other options. But for now, I think I want to let this one settle for a little bit. And yeah, this is the end of the first playthrough, guys. Thanks very much for tuning in, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. For now, good night.